we got some time for a few questions as well. So I think we got some people with microphones.
Okay.
And so if you guys just want to put your hand up, and somebody will run up to you with a microphone so you can ask a few questions as well. So anybody with a question? There you go. Can we just have a microphone here to front, please?
Shoot, I'll just repeat it.
Why do you guys do this? It's obviously not for the money. You're not making anything out of it.
And it's definitely not for our looks either.
Well, why do you do it?
So you know how I'm talking about the certainty thing, right? Is that, believe it or not, this actually scares us to do it. But the reason we do it is because it builds the muscle. We know we didn't get where we are by playing it safe, by dabbling at shit. We're like, this is where we expand and build the muscle. And it's like, this is the thing. We buy stuff, we buy stupid cars and stuff for the brand, for the feeling, for the emotion. Like, we're buying that just like Bernard and Old is selling to us, is because we feel valued in our group or community. It actually feels fucking way more valuable, like, than buying all the shit, is when you give out the knowledge and you see those points land and people take it and run with it. Fuck, it is a euphoric feeling. And we do it for the feeling.
And that's our Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah. We're all just chasing that significance and certainty in all, and I think it's all the different ways, and it's one of the biggest things. Why does every single person that when they make money they can't spend, what do they all do? Philanthropy. Why? Because you realise it's like you get that same fucking feeling, and you get it more than actually, it's like that thing when you learn as kids as Christmas, you know, it's better to give parents than receive. It's fucking true, just at the same level, so that's why.
Another question? Put your hand up. There's a gentleman there.
Yeah. Emil, I was just curious of any negotiation tactics you would, I guess, impart on us that you feel are important for any negotiation day to day.
My tips when it comes to negotiating. Good question. I'm always about adding value, right? So, for example, I'm just going to use this as an example. When I was more active in selling real estate, and my fee, for example, would be 3% plus GST, and straight away somebody would try to negotiate with me, hey, other agents are charging 2%. So you just have to, going back to the energy and confidence, the way you're talking to people as well, it's a huge part for me, but with me is, when it comes to any negotiations, including being a real estate agent, I always say, are you chasing the cheapest to get you the cheapest results, or are you getting the best? And, you know, obviously there's a lot of things that I would use, and with me as well, that I always say that the way I always look at it, when anybody's trying to negotiate anything with me, I always ask myself, what value am I going to add to you? And if I know I'm going to add more value to you than anybody else, then I have a power in my hands when it comes to any kind of negotiations, full stop. But when it comes to real estate, buying stuff, power is in the buyer because you are giving the money. And don't feel attached that you have to negotiate and get that deal specifically. You have to make sure the deal works. So get the ego out of the equation when it comes to negotiating. But every single deal is different. With me, I just bring a ton of fucking confidence and energy, and I go fucking hard. You know, that's just my style of negotiating.
And I've noticed with Emil, he's prepared to walk away. It's like that thing in negotiation, whoever cares the least wins, is that he doesn't get that emotionally invested, where I'm like, oh, what are we not going to, you know, he's, fuck it, gone. You know,
but I made 1,000 mistakes. When I was younger, I wanted to buy every fucking single property. I wanted to do every single deal. And then I realized that, you know, some of the best deals that I've ever done are the ones that I walked away. So, you know, don't be afraid to say no and just walk away. You've got nothing to lose by still having your money in your account. Any more questions for Simon? One in front.
Am I on or?
One for the both of you, please. If you were to sell your own company today and start new, if a non-compete clause wasn't an issue, would you attempt the same again or try a different industry?
I suppose, like, for me, I'm already doing stuff. for me, I suppose I'm in a different point, and from my point of life now, it's how I get the highest and best use of time, the most leverage. So it's a little bit different where I can just use a lot more capital and a little bit of knowledge. So it's more that passive sort of investing and doing it. But if I was to say, if I had nothing and I had to start again now, I would definitely just do I did a little video on it, but like a simple AI automation agency. It's like, it's the new social media agency basically. It's so easy, you can start it with no money, and you could get it really quickly to like 10K, 20K a month. Yeah, that's what I do.
If I sold all my companies today, I would chase whatever makes me happy at the time. And obviously, if you sell your business for 100 million or 300 million in Simon's case, then you're just gonna always calculate, what am I going to get best out of my time that I'm going to put into something? And am I going to be so passionate about? Because, I have reached the point in my life now, I only want to do things that are really giving me so much joy. And the businesses, if I don't see myself having fun in it, I won't do it just for the money.
Oh, up here. How you going? Emil, how do you put together the first 70K? That's I think most people's challenge. I don't know if you covered that. And one for Simon. You got Drake. Who's next? Maybe Elon? Who do you want next?
I think though we're doing something with the UFC for Conor McGregor for in Vegas. But the Vegas ones are easy because everyone's there. But yeah. But my ultimate would be Jay-Z. He's always been my
For you to interview or to meet?
Well, just to sort of meet, get an in thought, anything. He's like the GOAT in my terms. But how did you get the 70K? I think that is cool. That's a good question.
How did I get what?
The first 70K.
Which is the hardest thing, is 0
How did I get my first 70,000?
Yeah.
Very simple. Very simple. So a lot of people ask me, hey, if I want to do first deal, right now it's probably going to take about $100,000. How did I get that $100,000? Very simple. I work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, till I fucking saved it.
Yeah.
There's no other fucking formula. Let's just make that fucking strike. So if you're working in a job, you're 18, 19, 20, or 25, if you want to create another business, it might take you 15 years to get $600 million out of it. Simon didn't make that money in the first fucking day, and he didn't make big money on the markets the first day. So the way I did it, I was working physically in construction. Lights on my ute were always fucking on, because when I was going to work, it was 4 a.m., and when I was coming back home, it was fucking 7, 8 p.m. 7 days a week. When everybody else was fucking around, I was out working anybody. So I killed myself working to save my fucking deposit, so I can borrow money from the bank, which is funny. The bank that I tried to borrow 90 grand, they said no, so I had to go to somebody else. That bank is giving me $100 million line of credit today, which is fucking interesting after 20 years. And I am banking with them. But the point is, buddy, I just literally head down, bum up. There's no other, unless somebody gives you money, which is not a good thing, because if mom, dad, or cousin gives you that 100 grand, you never fucking learn the value of making it, because I was literally pissing fucking blood to save that 100 grand. I was so fucking cautious when I was spending it.
Yeah, and please don't look at anything today of mine. It's all exit money. Like I said, we were turning over 50 million, and we had the discipline to pay ourselves 150,000 a year. Like, that was all we were fucking paying ourselves, because we were literally, even though say we're making 6-7 million EBITDA, you had to spend it. That was for the next store. That was for the IT upgrade. That was in stock, like, to keep growing the business. And that's what we did until we could get to an exit point, because it just at one point it's like, so you just have zero diversification. It's pretty stupid. So, cool.
Another question? There's a gentleman over there, that corner with the glasses.
Oh, hey boys, appreciate you coming out, and I admit I was worried I was going to get sold something, so I really appreciate it that we haven't been hit with a hard
If you want us to sell
sell.
you something, we're really good at that too, buddy. We'll sell you.
Well,
I'll sell you my pair of glasses. I might not suit you, but we're good at that.
So my question is, how do you manage emails? Like, I'm at the point now where I get probably a couple of hundred, 200-300 emails a day, CC'd in a lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of people trying to get to you for answers or questions or whatever it may be. How do you handle your emails?
There's a great book, Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time. So I don't know if you've got an EA, but definitely at that level, you should be sort of doing it. But as well, if you can't afford that or something yet, like the new Google released last week, the Bard AI into Gmail and everything, like there's going to be so many game changers in that. I've only had a little bit of a play on it, but I just know that will be a game changer for that. But I definitely read that book on Buy Back Your Time. It's one of the biggest things is that people hire like a COO and shit when they just needed an EA, because especially when you're smaller, you've got the most leverage. I've got this whole theory in business that I've come up with this year. It's called the quarterback theory, especially in growing a business. It's like quarterbacks win fucking championships. Tom Brady wins the fucking Super Bowl. Like that's why, and so much as being a founder entrepreneur, you've got to play the quarterback role in the business. Like it doesn't matter how good your punter is. It doesn't matter how good you do your bass. Sorry, any offense to any accountants, but it's like that. It's not going to matter. It's not going to grow the business. That's the thing, is the quarterback is what wins the championships, and you have to leverage that time as much as possible to be that highest and best use of what creates actual value in the business. And I bet you, reading 200 emails, you only need to read 10. And you need to make sure someone else does that.
No, very true.
Another question? One, two more? This gentleman in white in the middle there. And my answer would be, I got 3 PAs that run my life. So, but saying that, one thing that I've learned is I always ask myself, what's my $5,000 an hour or $2,000 an hour work that I can do? Anything less than that, what I would call that somebody that I pay $30, $40, or $50, or $60 an hour, I will get him to do those tasks. So that's why I'm valuing my time to do higher priority tasks that will give me better return on my time. Question? The gentleman in white. We can hear you anyway, buddy.
Oh, that's really loud. Simon, you mentioned you do cold plunges and some other really hard things that you find train the muscle. I respect that. I think it's really good for character building. Outside of cold plunges, do you do any other training, especially you as well, Emil, looking really good at 44? Do you do any sort of training physically? And if so, what separates the trainer or coach you choose to help you with that as opposed to a regular PT?
This is really a question for Simon, because I exercised with Simon once for 1 hour, passed the fuck out for a whole week. I was like, I'm quitting this thing straight away. So
I've got a trainer that worked, that he comes, in the morning, like 3 or 4 days a week. But he was just worked for us at Culture Kings, and I suppose we had that relationship and that trust, which is a big thing now, because I suppose especially as I've got to is like you'll get reached out from everyone trying to sell you everything from every angle. It's really hard to filter it through, and so you really tend to deviate a lot more to that trust and known before. That was my decision in doing that, but I think it's the most important thing, because that is one of the things that you have to train. Like I'm saying, all this certainty and stuff, it's like testosterone. Like this is a thing, like 50% of male depression is just low testosterone. It's one of the things, is the biggest measure of like when you have high, like the right level testosterone, it makes effort feel good. It's one of the things, and you need that in business, because you need to put in effort. If effort's too hard, it's like we all know that feeling. It's like, oh, fuck it, too hard basket, right? And you sit on the couch. You need to train that in business, and especially as that entrepreneur. And there's a lot of new technology coming where you can measure it a lot better. Like that's the thing, no one can even measure it now. It's so cooked. But yeah, hopefully I can invest in some stuff that helps change that, because I do believe it's such a game changer. Is that, and yeah, that's cold plunge helps increase that, sun exposure, heaps of stuff. Yeah.
And Simon did convince me to do ice bath with him. It wasn't pleasant, but I did feel good after that.
Yeah, but I haven't missed it in 5 years. So from started at cold showers, obviously, but now I've got cold plunges. But it's that chain thing. I'll just never fucking miss.
We'll take one more question.
Yeah, Emil, my question is about scaling. is actually for you and Simon. I want you to answer both. Like in my case, as a builder, if I scale the business for 6 million, my basic cost should be $500,000. Just take home probably 200K. And your 20 years old real estate agents, just for one desk, making 2 million, yeah? Just your brand, just desk, that's it. But your Simon's business, to get 2 million turnover, worth like a $25 per week for membership, probably for 2 million, around 80,000 membership. So how much you're taking home, how much is gonna cost you? Like for my example, I tied up my property to my insurance, $500,000, just take home, let's say 200,000. Or if I just get my 2 apprentices, I just do the same amount. Why should I risk all my money, risk property, everything to scale the business? And when you reach 0 to 600 million, how you get over this mental bracket to just paying or taking that much risk? Like maybe if you have 200 employees, I don't know how much is going to be cost for just pay as you go. So, yeah.
Are you a builder? Do you build for other people or you just do your own projects?
I own Smith & Sons Renovations Extensions franchise in Bowen Hills area.
So you do work for other companies, correct?
No, it's my own company.
Yeah, I know, but you do contract work. For example, if I need some work, I can engage as a builder, correct?
Yes.
Okay. My advice to you, and I've seen this over the last 20 fucking years, and I have made every mistake in construction and development. Only way you can scale and really become fucking so successful is fucking quit doing work for other people, start developing your own. Mm-hmm. Because you can look at the biggest fucking builder in Australia, Hutchinson. Mm-hmm. $4 billion turnover, they make like 10 million bucks. Yeah. 4 billion, you know, that's a fucking lot of turnover. That is because they do work for other people. And they're taking risk on them instead of somebody else. So I've built for other people, and I have done my fucking ass on it as well. I only start, and if you look at all the successful property developers or property investors, you're going to find out they're all property investors, not builders. They engage builders, and builder is the one that's actually taking more risk and does all work. And all of my deals that I showed you before, I don't spend more than 5 days on a single deal, while builder will spend fucking 6 months flogging every single day. So in my mind, in that industry, to scale it, is for you to start doing your own projects, your own developments. That way, when you take risks, at least you own whatever the hell you're developing.
And at least do one of your own projects each year, and you get the tax-free advantage of that, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
if you're just starting small, it'll be easier to scale.
I do my own developments as well, and return on investment on cash base is 117%. Really lucrative jobs I do, but I just want to do and hold myself, then serviceability is going to be an issue. So, yeah, I have to work someone else to, this is how I feel.
And one thing I always say, don't be attached to the business. If you're working your fucking heart out for 15 years and you can't really see your business scaling, just start something else. Otherwise, going back to the start of my conversation, the clock doesn't fucking stop. Time keeps going.
But as well, like, I wanted the growth. I wanted the global brand. I wanted the thing. Like, it's, if you've got a great business, you've got a great life, and you're thinking, like, you don't have to chase it. Like, I'd say, too, over 30 million bucks, too. There's really, unless you're into boats or planes and shit, there's really not much other shit to buy. Like, there's...
I keep convincing Simon to buy a fucking boat. He reckons it's cheaper to rent one.
Yeah, but there's like, I do think that's an important point, is like, don't feel like there's this, and that can be the number and just be an ego thing. You've got to be so careful to watch out for that.
Yeah,
I know.
Last year Christmas, 1,500 builders bankrupt and big boys bankrupt. Like, builders also, you know, doesn't make sense to me anymore. So
you just give yourself answer, buddy. Change the freaking industry. Yes, and there's a good money in real estate if you can sell well too.
Yeah.
We do have to go. I want to say big thank you to everyone, to these beautiful people on the stage.